Hello everyone! Today we are going to be making 6-pointed paper snowflakes. So let's get started. First you're going to need one piece of paper. We're going to be making the big ones first because they're easier. So you're going to take this and you're going to fold it at an angle until it's in line with the edge. Okay, so then you have this shape, and then we're going to cut this section off right here where this triangle is. Okay. So you have this triangle, and taking one bottom edge of the triangle, you're going to fold it in line with the other bottom edge of the first triangle. And then we have another triangle. Now comes the harder part. So with this triangle, you have one edge that is broken, and then you have one that is folded. So we're going to take this split edge and fold it in. I'm going to fold this in thirds. Okay. And then fold this one over. So then you have this shape, and what we're going to do is we're going to flip it so that you have the pocket on this side. Okay. Then we're going to take our scissors and cut this. You can either cut it at an angle or you can cut it flat. To do this simple snowflake, we're just going to cut this flat on top. Now we're going to go ahead and start cutting it. So I'm going to cut at an angle down like this for short ways. Okay, and then I'm going to cut in an angle like this. Sometimes I find it easier to just pull the part off once you get only a little bit attached. You're going to need a good pair of scissors for this too, because you're cutting through multiple layers of paper. I don't know how many layers this is. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and cut this section off. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to cut in at an angle like this. To get even with this line here. Don't cut too far because then you'll end up cutting something wrong. I'm going to cut this section out. And that is how simple this one is. So there you have our shape. And now we're going to unfold this and see how it looks. So here we have it. A simple snowflake. Only a few cuts to your paper and you have it. Now to get this flat, you just set several books on top of it. Or something heavy to flatten it for several hours at least. I left some of mine for several days. Okay. So there we have that one. And now we're going to work on making one that is more complex. So just grab another piece of paper And we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Cut in. Okay. So right now we have this shape here. And we're going to cut in. Okay. Now one thing I didn't tell you is when you are cutting these, don't cut any edge, either one of these edges, fully off. Because if you cut them fully off, you'll end up with your snowflake in pieces, and that is not good. Because we want a whole snowflake like this. And you'll end up with it in however many pieces. Sometimes I end up with it in 3 pieces if I accidentally cut the whole piece off. So then we're going to cut 2 angle shapes here. Inside this cut. Long enough. Okay. So, and then we're going to cut another one on top of this. Not touching, but... Okay. And we're going to cut another thing here. Okay. We're going to cut around here. Okay. We're going to cut the tip off in a straight line off the bottom. That will give it a circle-ish hole in the middle. And then we're just going to cut a bigger one like this, cut like this on this side. But again, don't cut off the entire edge. Okay. So here we have it, our shape. And this doesn't look like a snowflake, so we're going to unfold it. And there we have it. So now we have 2 snowflakes done, and I'm going to show you one more. And then I'll show you several others that we've made. Now this time I'm just going to cut it at an angle like this. So instead of having the flat top that we had on the others, we have an angle. Okay. So now we are going to just make a few cuts, whatever you want to do. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and cut this at an angle, just to show you what the angles look like. Okay, so this is not flat on the bottom, it's an angle. Okay, so let's just make random cuts here. So because I'm just doing random cuts here, I don't know how this one's going to turn out, so we'll see. Okay. Currently that's what it looks like. We're going to round off this corner. Now if you notice, I made none of these cuts to where they cut off the entire edge. We used to have a folded edge here, here, right there, and right there at the end. So then I'm just going to cut a few things here. All snowflakes are different, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. They're all different. Okay, this is a really simple one. And I just made random cuts. So there you have it. And this is the difference between the cutting it flat at the bottom, where you get a circle hole, and this one where you get where you get 6 points. Okay, so with that, I'm going to show you a couple others that we've made previously. This is one I made that is like this one, except that it's smaller. I also made one similar to this one, this smaller. Okay. Here's one that somebody else did. This one, I haven't seen any that look like that, but it's fine. Here's another one. There's one. This one kind of looks like a spider web almost. But it is a paper snowflake. Okay. There's another one. And one more. Now you don't have to do them that size. You can do them smaller. I'll just show you a couple of small ones here. So here's one that's like this one, only a lot smaller. The smaller they are, the more they're going to look like a snowflake, but okay. There's another one. Different shapes. All personalities. This one has hearts on it. This is probably the smallest one I have here, if you can see it. The smaller the snowflake, the harder it is to cut. So here's just a few small snowflakes that we've done. So all you do is take one of your scrap pieces of paper for that, and again fold it in a triangle and do it the same way. Cut off the square section of the triangle when you fold it. And do the same way. It's just a lot harder and you can't make as many cuts in it. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make 6-pointed snowflakes and have fun.